Hi everyone, it is Miss Galuzzi. I'm not here today, but I really wanted you to start the new lesson and not miss a moment. So I'm making this video for you. I'm going to show you everything and explain everything that I did for yesterday's classes as well. So we're going to start off by saying that your cubes are in the black bag over here, and I do not want you to go through the bag, but they are all made and they're going to be on display in two different places: the main foyer in the main entrance or at the cube. So if you're looking for it in a few days, it's going to be either or. And also, if you did not finish, and there's I think there's a few in each class, there's a pink folder you could see, let me zoom in, right there, that is 5.3 BD, and there's one below it is 5.7 BD. Those have the unfinished work in them. If the work is not in there, that means I chose it as finished and I created the block. Okay, so since we're going to be doing, since we just finished up a 3D project, we're going to go into 2D. I like to call it pencil drawings, and you'll see in a second what I mean by that. So let's get right into it, okay? So I'm going to first show you some examples so you'll know what I'm talking about, and then we'll go from there. Voila. Okay, so the first example is this, I don't know if it's from Harry Potter or what, but as you can see now, all of the pencils there are making up this creature. Now, as you can see, it's only pencils, different parts of pencils, but all it is pencils. Let's see how many times I say the word pencils. Please don't. I'm just saying. Ha ha ha. Can't do two things at once, but I'll try. Okay, so the next one is this cockatoo bird, and it's okay. I'm sorry you can't see because my phone is viewing the computer kind of weird, but the pencils are drawn phenomenally, but there's just too many of them and they're not in like organized way. So, I mean, it's good that they drew fabulous pencils. It's bad that you can't really tell it's a bird. I mean, you can, but we'll go from there. Next one is a sailboat. It's kind of simple, but as you can see, everything is made strictly out of pencils, whether they used the entire pencil or just part of the pencil, like the eraser and whatnot. Next up is this, I think it's a macaw. And as you can see, when you're making your pencil designs, not only are the pencils going to represent like feathers or textures, but also you can make designs by using the pencil lead as a nice stripe. And then they also made a stripe using the pink erasers up here. You'll see that the pencil lengths and thicknesses are also varied. Here is a swallow. It's okay. It's not my favorite example, but it's also excellently drawn pencils. I like this one. I think it's really neat. It's obviously a jellyfish, and if you zoom in, as you can see here, the tips of the pencil, where's my mouse? Let's use my finger. The tips of the pencil right there make this really cool design, and then they used an eraser. Oops, sorry guys. An eraser for the center, but I mean, it's really well done. Love it, and how you could see how these pencils are kind of squiggly. This one, I'm going to back up a little bit, is a king squid. Super cool. Again, all of it is parts of the pencil. Look at this one. I don't know if people can see this one. This one here is huge. It's a really big pencil. Sometimes people don't even notice it. And then there's really small ones that are wrapped around here. Really think about the direction of your object that you're drawing. Here's a turtle. I wanted to show you the little edge of the turtle shell. It has all these little teeny tiny little pencils. And then the inside and the head. Here is, I don't know if it's a panther or what. And then there's the trees. This is a hand. It's kind of interesting. Like that they use the pink pencils for the erasers. Here is a skull. Here's an elephant. Notice all the wide, long, curly pencils versus the small. And here's, they just use the pencil tips in that part, and that's fine. Here is, I don't know what kind of bird this is, maybe a dove. Here is a squid. Let me see if I can zoom it in. Okay, and as you can see, they use, I mean, you think you're seeing all the squid parts, I mean, all the pencil parts, but you could see, I didn't even notice this until right now. This area here has just the 1, 2, 3 pencils, and you see the tip all the way to the eraser. Now, how extended this eraser is versus this pencil here, and so on and so on. It's really well done. Here's a horse. Just look at how they really paid attention to, like, almost like the muscles of the horse and just the direction of the pencils, how that helps make this look like a horse. This is one of my favorites. It's a toothbrush, obviously, and then the bristles are all made of these curly Q pencils, and then the erasers here, and everything is a pencil, so on and so on. A flamingo, some swans. Look at how big these pencils are here. And if you do it correctly, you won't even notice that, like, these are massive pencils and these are small. You'll just see it for what you want it to be, which is, in this case, swans. Butterfly, super well done. Look at that. Even the antennae are pencils. Super great. And how they used, how they used pencils even for, like, they used the pencil eraser and then they did a pencil around it to add designs. I mean, all of this is just really well done. Here's another swan. And that is that. So now, what are you going to do today? Well, first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a free draw piece of paper, which is in that bin, as you know, right over there. And you're going to get your pencils, which are on that art table there. Please, there's also erasers there and in cabinet 2. First thing first is always the same. You pick up your pencil and write your name. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, as I like to say, you have to crawl before you can walk. You have to walk before you can run. So we're going to start with the very basic beginning, which is we're going to just write, we're going to draw the components of a pencil. And I pre-did it right here. Let me back up the camera. Okay, that's my name, yes. First thing you're going to do is you're going to make the components of the pencil. So you have the eraser, the metal binder piece, the wood, and the tip, okay? And as you can see, this might be a challenge for some, and it might be where you're spending the rest of the period just working on this, just working on creating a good pencil, and that's fine. One of the things you learned in elementary school, and I'm not sure if you remembered it, so I'm going to point it out, is the ellipse. As you can see, that's the circular area here and here that's showing you what that the object is round, okay? I'm going to show you again the same pencil without using ellipses. So let's see the difference. Okay, do you see how this one at the top looks round and this one is very flat looking? Like, look at this eraser. It looks like just like a square, and so on and so on, okay? So definitely work on making sure that you have ellipses on all of your pieces. Now, one of the things that came up in other classes was, how do we do ellipses again? So on and so on. There's several ways to do it. I'm just going to draw right here and show you my simple way. Actually, a student showed me another way, so I'm going to show you two. The first thing is, the first example is when we're just going to use the eraser as our example. Okay, so first thing you do is make your two lines that are straight. They're straight across, horizontal. That's the top and the bottom. Now, for the ellipse to occur, it has to be a curved line. So you could choose either side and make that curve, okay? Then you're going to match that same curve on this side. You're almost done. Then you're going to match this curve, going the opposite way, and there you have your eraser. Now, another student said that they did it like this, where they made an oval. Because remember, ellipses are ovals. They're not perfect circles. And then they made the two little legs, and then they curved it. Now, a common misconception is this. I'll have somebody do this and say, there's my ellipse. Ellipses are oval, not circular. And also, you're missing this curved part here. So if you do it either way like this or this, you should have a much more successful time. Okay, so that's the first step, is you're going to practice your pencils and draw them each individually, separate pieces, all that jazz, okay? Now the next step is you're going to draw objects, and you could draw animals, birds, or objects. That's my example of the bad erasers. And just draw the outline. So what I mean by that is, say you want to make, I did a bunny somewhere. Hold on a second. It's like I'm here. Okay, yeah. Here's my bunny example, okay? Now, I did it really quick, obviously, but as you can see, when I say the outline, this is what I'm looking for. Just the outer edge of whatever it is, whether it's a bunny, whether it's an animal. I think fish and birds work really well, but you can do anything. I've had, just to look around the room, I had a student draw this sled using the pencil technique. I've had a student use, make a pencil technique with a guitar. I've had them use it to make cars, different sea creatures, all sorts of stuff. So back to the bunny. So I want you just to practice different objects today, okay? Now, you could see I started adding pencils inside, and that's how we're going to build our pencil project, is we're going to start with an outline first, then we're going to fill in with the pencils. But before you do any of the pencils, you're going to stay with the rough draft today, and probably on, what is today? Thursday? And probably on Tuesday, so I can sit with you one-on-one and we can kind of find out whether you're ready to go on to the next step or you should come up with a new idea. My suggestion for all the classes is to bring in your laptop so you can really use it as a reflection, something you could refer to. Now, that does not mean bring in your laptop today, and it does not mean just for future reference that you're going to be looking at videos or goofing around. If I see that, the laptops are going. But that is that. And so after this, it should be time to go. All right. Maybe it wasn't, maybe you didn't even get to this point, but I talked, believe it or not, I talked less than I would have talked if I was standing in front of you. So I knew it probably sounds like I was going on and on. Please behave and treat your teacher well. And I'm not sure who I have for my sub. So whoever it is, I appreciate you coming. And please write down anyone's names of students that are acting out. All right, guys, have a great day. And I'll see you on Friday if I see you. Otherwise, I'll see you on Tuesday. And have a great day and a weekend.